It's time to create the view file for displaying all the notes in the index page. Go to Resources, Views, and here it's best to create another directory called Notes to group all the related views. So within the Notes directory, create a new Blade file, index.blade.php. The layout that we wish to have on this page is similar to the dashboard view. So open the dashboard Blade file, copy everything from here, paste it here. Now these underscores and brackets that you see are used for translation. So if you want to show your app in different languages, you can do that. For now, let's remove this and simply replace the dashboard word with notes. And down here, oh, we don't even need this. And down here, let's simply say all notes for now. And in our node controller's index method, let's return this view. Return view notes.index. Now we use the dot notation to access the files, the blade files within the notes directory. All right, now let's refresh the page. Perfect. We have the layout that we need with notes title and all notes. Now go back to the controller. Now this view needs to access the notes data. To do that, we can simply pass the data using the with helper function, notes, and the data is notes. So now in the index view, we can access all the notes using for each blade directive, for each notes as note. Let's add a div, and a heading, h2 for the title. And here we can display the note title and a paragraph where we can display the note text. Okay, let's look at the browser. And yes, we do have the note, its text, the title, and the text again. Let me add some styling to make it look better. I'll add this for each directive above this here, so each note is separated, and end for each down here. And let me just remove all of these divs, we don't need that. Let's simply add a font bold and text 2XL for this title. We can also add some color like text indigo 600. For the paragraph, let's simply add an empty 2, some margin top. And just to space out the notes, let me just add a space Y6 for the parent div. And we need some padding for each of the divs, so let me simply add a padding P6. Now let's look at the browser. Alright, this now looks good. Now I'd like to add the date and time when each note was updated down here below each note. So let's add a span tag right here, span. And let's add the note updated at column. If you refresh the browser, obviously we get the date and time, but this is definitely not readable by a human. So let's change that. Since our updated at timestamp is a carbon date, we can use the diff for humans helper class, diff for humans, which will convert the date into a readable format. Let's see what this gives us. Refresh. Great, we have one article. Let's add some styling to the span tag, span plus block, so that I can add a margin top, MD4, text SM, and an opacity of 70 just to make it look a little grayed out. Refresh. Perfect. Now what if we don't have any notes to display? That is, the user hasn't yet created any note. For this, we can change the for each to for else instead. And you can change this to end for else. Now you have another empty directive. So if this is empty, you can add any text that you want to show here. So we can simply add text saying you have no notes yet. Alright, so we surely need to make more changes to this view, but it now looks much more closer to our final output.